right, so this is Historic, the non-rotating format that we have supported on Arena. We're going to be playing Jeskai Planeswalkers to kick the day off. Jeskai is blue, white, and red for those newer to Magic. This deck has a number of interactive elements like Lava Coil, Giant, Seal Away, and Clarion to keep the board in check, while also having Sarkhan and Chandra and Teferi as a variety of win conditions at the top end. We've got a few different cards from Theros in here today. Notably, we've got Elspeth Conquers Death here as a flexible removal spell that also rebuys our various planeswalkers. And then a couple copies of Thassa's Intervention as a way to both have some reactive counter magic, but also have a way to generate card advantage. And we've got a temple from the new set in here as well. And a couple of folks asked before we started the intro here about Dream Trawler. I think this archetype already has just a lot of win conditions in it from all the planeswalkers, and the planeswalkers play well with things like Sarkhan. So I think if you feel like the answer is Dream Trawler is better than the planeswalkers that we're playing, which might be the case, then you'd rather just play a different deck. Like, I don't think we want to slot Dream Trawler into this deck so much as I'd rather just build a different control deck that plays Dream Trawler if we think Dream Trawler is just better than these planeswalkers to play. Notably, too, though, Search for Azcanta finds every spell in our deck other than these Bonecrusher Giants, so having our threats be planeswalkers means that Search for Azcanta can directly find our threats, whereas if we were playing Dream Trawler, that wouldn't be possible. So let's go ahead and dive on into a Historic constructed event. So even though Historic is not available as a ladder format right now, you can play Historic as a best of 3 format for 1,000 gold. If you get at least 2 match wins, you get your 1,000 gold back plus some random cards. I don't think Fires is good in decks like this. I think Fires excels in decks like the Cavalier decks where you're spending lots of mana. I think in a deck like this, Fires is a card that doesn't generate enough mana to be meaningful tempo advantage. Fires is good when Fires is basically letting you spend 14 mana on turn 5. It's not good when your turn 5 is a lot less than that. I think this is a mulligan because of the awkward mana. Nah, I'm going to keep it. So, Clarion is good if they're aggressive, and these are good if they're controlling. So, we need another blue source, but we're covered against a range of things. Is doing these events the best way to get cards and coins in Arena? It is. If you are consistently able to get 2 wins in these constructed events or more, it's a great way to farm gold. No, I didn't do that yet. I should go do that. You make significantly more prizes playing in the arena events than you do, or playing in the constructed events than you do on the ladder. Like, the ladder system, you can only get, you know, a small amount of gold for the entire season. You get 5 packs and 1,000 gold or something sad like that. Whereas these events, you can make 700 gold per 5 matches played or something like that. I forget what the exact amount is. You also get random rares and mythics as individual card rewards. Do you have a 5-drop? They do. Poop. Hey, look, a distraction. Perfect. You technically come out ahead if you get 2 wins. You don't come out ahead in gold, but you get random card rewards. So you get your 1,000 gold back plus random card rewards.
I bestow a mighty curse.
So we'll exile that, and then Elspeth Conquers Death will eventually get back Narset, and Conquers Death bringing back Narset is great because it brings her back with an extra loyalty counter, so Narset can actually downtick 3 times with Conquers Death.
This is but a taste of my power.
So hoping to draw a Bonecrusher Giant here so I can go Clarion plus Bonecrusher, clear their board. Lava Coil or Seal Away would also be good. Just gonna go ahead and exile this.
The best way to destroy things.
Then, if they kill Chandra here, she just comes back next turn, which is great. They might just smack me for 6 here. Because they have Sorin and then I'd be at 4. So, nah, it's a close game. If our opponent's got good leftovers, we could definitely be in trouble. Opponent has a lot of choices to make here. Not surprised to see them tank a little bit. Yep. Yeah, definitely not clean cut on what they're supposed to be doing.
Past, present, and future are thou. Keep an open mind.
Think I start here. Yes. Okay, so the plan is this down tick, Clarion, finish you, search for Azcanta. Now, the trouble here is this can just sack 2 Vamps to 3 us twice. And look at that. That makes 2 Vamps. Yeah, so like, we had a good turn there, but this Sorin is threatening to just like finish us. And that Sorin will. Close game. Think if we'd been on the play this game, we probably would have had a shot, but just ended up being a little bit too slow on the draw. Or were we on the play? Maybe we were on the play? I don't remember. At any rate, we ended up being a little bit too slow. No, the deck master is the name of the plugin, just to use the vernacular right. The deck master person never ended up responding to me anywhere. So I pinged the stream decker person last night asking if they had any progress on being able to help me get set up, and if they don't respond to me, I'm gonna put out a post on Twitter and dig into it myself and figure out what I need to do to put up my own deck master fork to get it updated. I think this is an Narset out matchup. Actually, Time Raveler's probably not particularly good, huh? I think I'd rather have Narset than Time Raveler. I guess Time Raveler impacts the board. Let's just trim around the edges, split the difference. My Fist, thank you for the third of a year. Welcome back. Yeah, this is great. I mean, house smells like cheesecake. Sounds like a great problem to have. Happy birthday, by the way, DNN. Let's get a little stompy. Don't have a guaranteed third land, so leave the red source up in case we find a non-red land. Perfect. Bloodthirsty Aerialist. It's a weird one. I guess their deck gains a good amount of life with different things, especially with Sanctum Seeker. And it is a vampire. Hey, will do, Gargoyle. Thank you for the generous tier 2 resub. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. Someone else bumped Pioneer for folks today, too. I think it'll be pretty close to the top after both of those. This is just a 1-for-1, but I think I want to just use that and clear it out before I put my Bonecrushers into play.
Empire Lord. I desired many warriors.
Yeah, so I could have Lava Coiled, obviously, but I think it's better to use the Clarion before I play these Bonecrushers. Yeah, Lava Coil also kills their bigger threats, which is nice. It's also more resource efficient in that instance to use the Clarion. Alright, likely into garbage time here at this point. We're missing land drops, but I still got plenty of spells to cast in the meantime. I just, like, don't have any pressure out. Oh, that's neat, Gendy. I actually didn't know that.
No sword can pierce my skin.
It's interesting they brought in Noxious Grasp. Kind of surprised they're being that interactive. Yeah, feels like this is something you see happen with aggro players a lot of the time. Feels like my opponent might have boarded in too many reactive cards here. And that's definitely not their role in this matchup. They're definitely supposed to be trying to beat us down. Do I want these 5-mana sweepers here? Maybe I do. I think Clarion's still pretty good. I think even when Clarion's a 1-for-1, it's still pretty okay. Hey, Zombie, good luck this weekend. Are you ready, chat? Bonecrusher's ready. Can I take this turn off to play Azcanta? I feel like I'm not supposed to. I feel like I'm supposed to seal away this martyr. Come seal away. Come seal away. Come seal away with me. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. That deck's probably a pretty reasonable choice against the Inverter decks. I imagine having a bunch of discard spells is pretty reasonable. Scorn's also not bad. This pump here, I think, is actually pretty good for us, because it means they're not adding more pressure to the table. Like, they're taking a chunk off our life total, which is a little bit sad, but it means next turn I get to go land, search Lava Coil, and be in a pretty okay spot. They're adding more pressure to the table. That's less good for us. Missing my second red here currently, which is notable. Really want to draw one of those 5-mana sweepers I boarded in, huh? Yep. Even just Clarion would be good here. Gosh, are we dead? Feeling pretty dead. So I can play this, and then I can stomp one of their things and take 4 down to 1, but they're gonna get to flip this Legion's Landing and make a bunch of 1/1s. I have to chump block here. That's lethal, right? Yeah, that's lethal. Rats. Close games 1 and 3. Top of their deck was pretty hot. Missed a little bit ourselves. Thin margins that could have easily broken our way. Yeah, that is notable. They didn't draw any sideboard cards and they won that game. Hey, Ghost Stalker. Thanks for the 16 months of Prime support. Welcome back. Okay. That is a great draw against what appears to be another aggro matchup. Another vampire deck. Is this a different opponent? Does anybody remember what the username of the last opponent was? I don't recall offhand. Definitely in for another removal spell. Just gonna take this trade here. Hopefully they only play 1 threat next turn. I get to Teferi bounce it. Yeah, hoping for a single threat, having that happen is not the best feeling in the world. So we're hoping to draw a Clarion or a Seal Away next turn. That's rude. Do I play Narset or do I hold up a counter spell? I feel like I'm supposed to hold up a counter spell. Counter, unless they pay 2 should be live here. If it's not live, they're not doing much. Their board's relatively clear here. Get to stick Teferi. Largely uncontested. Get to quickly slide this game into garbage time. Perfect. Do 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 do. Clarion, my wayward son. There'll be peace when you are gone. Lay your weary head to rest. Don't you cry no more. Well, we've played against it twice in a row today, but honestly, I can't remember playing against it before today. So So as always, you shouldn't draw conclusions from small insignificant sample sizes.
Meditate and prepare.
Goodbye, Sanctum Seeker.
We need to move quickly.
We need to move quickly. Hey, Ash World. 2/3 of a way to a sword. Thanks to the 8 months. Welcome back. Hope you're having a good one wherever you are. Bring in a bunch of cheap stuff. Trim the counter spells. Trim the Teferis. Trim a Narset. That's what we did last time. Seems fine. I mean, Chandra's actually not good. I'd rather keep a couple Teferis in. That's probably true. Sarkhan should be enough of a win con. Yeah, I agree. Uro's very, very good. There's a blue-green card that's overbearing. Where have we seen that before? Overbearing blue-green cards. Can't quite put my finger on it. What matchups do you bring Settle in for? Probably aggro decks. Maybe it's fine here. I don't know. Settle seems worse here because they have the lands that make creatures. Nissa is blue. Nissa has Hydroid Crisis stapled to her. For those that are confused as to what color Nissa might have been, Nissa has Hydroid Crisis stapled to her side. She's blue, da ba dee da ba da, da ba dee da ba da, da ba dee da ba da, hi hi hi, do 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 do, boop boo do 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 do, boop boo do 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 do, boo do 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 do. Green doesn't get good cards. You're living in the past, my friend. You're living in the past. Sure. A lot of 5. This is a 2/3. I remember when Simic was a meme. Anybody else remember? I remember. But having bit of an awkward slow start here is real good for us. So you know what's funny? When they pump this and give it Death Touch, Justice Strike kills it. Because the creature deals damage equal to itself. Probably see Search or Justice Strike go. Our hand's so glutted on 5s. Remember the Esper Amulet deck? When Nexus was something novel? Meme Nexus was a good time. I agree. Nexus is exactly the type of card that should be meme playable, but is miserable when it's tier 1 playable. Definitely. Something that, like, when it shows up on occasion, you're like, alright, yeah, this was neat. When it shows up every match, you're like, please, for the love of God, stop. I think I bottomed that just looking for lands here. Or that. Come seal away with me. Be-do-do-do. Do-do-do-do. Do-do-do-do-do. Party bus is why you upgraded from tier 1 to tier 2. We actually just had someone submit a blue-white party bus deck. I don't know if it's going to be particularly good, but Thassa is ready to ride the bus. So I'm going to go ahead and block here. They'll pump. Will Justice Strike. We'll go to 17. We'll draw an untapped land. We'll cast Teferi. Darn it, deck. Did you not hear me? I said we'll draw an untapped land and we'll cast Teferi. It didn't listen, chat. It didn't listen. Do you like 5-drops, chat? I'm kind of into 5-drops.
I fight with a dragon's ray. Behold!
Behold! Sounds good. Investigate.
Keep up the pace.
That's hot.
They are coming.
That means next turn I get to go -3, make a dragon. Play Sarkhan, -3, make a dragon. Bye, friends. Onward, upward, backward, forward. Split 1 and 1 there with vampires. Match we lost. We had 2 very close games. So, there's a potential upside of dealing 4 that way, Eugen, but if they play Sanctum Seeker, they also deal a damage to us. And, like, the upside of dealing 4 damage is pretty minimal, because when we win this matchup, we're not winning it by inches, we're winning it by miles. So, like, if it was a matchup where I was inclined to be racing a lot of the time, making them pay that 4 life is potentially very good. But because this is a matchup where we're generally not racing, we're taking control of the game in a very commanding way, that's less important. I'd rather just have the upside of not taking a hit from a Sanctum Seeker if they have one. Grixis! Alright, don't get too excited now, chat. I know this is your kink. They took Bonecrusher. Wonder if that means they have, maybe they have like Thief of Sanity or small creatures that die to it? Don't kink shame me. Listen, I didn't say you had anything to be ashamed of. I was just saying I know what gets you going. What are spells? Baby, don't hurt me. Don't hurt me no more. Whoa, 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 ho, 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 ho. Hey, hey, hey. I have no thoughts left, chat. I am thoughtless. Typical thoughtless millennial, killing all sorts of industries. Typical thoughtless millennial. Bye, Felicia. And that exiles it too, so like they don't even get to bring Croxa back this turn, which is great. Great. If this is a land, they can bring back Croxa here. I think 5-mana Ashiok is quite reasonable. I don't think it's like a busted Planeswalker, but I think in terms of being constructed playable, it's certainly constructed playable. It is very much not 5-mana Teferi. That is accurate. This Crocs is going to kill us rather quickly. Bonus deck, Grixis deck doing a good job here. Grixis struggles to be a good control color, but it's very reasonable at being a... It's very reasonable at being a little bit of a beatdown deck in a lot of situations like this. Oh. Obviously should have tapped Beacon here. I'm going to draw a white card I can't cast now.
Might be a bad idea.
That's fine. I guess it doesn't matter, because, like, I'm just losing that. So they're going to play Croxa. Then, like, the Croxa goes away, so... Seems like a net win for us. The question here is, can they kill the dragon as well? Yeah, whips and chains, baby. You're just what I like, opponent.
Listen to them roar.
Wow, Tilter. They're exiling all my good cards, chat. Why do they keep exiling all my good cards? Rampage me. That's really good. Opponent's build is neat. A lot of good proactive threats. I think that having a proactive slant is definitely where Grixis needs to be, I think. This is nice because it counts exiles too, so it plays nicely with escape. Their color requirements are quite strict. Well, poop. Oh no. Why is the lock so deep, chat? My dragon tripped and fell. My poor dragon, he's just doing his best to get by in this cold, hard world. Gus seems quite good against their, what's it called, Dorko? Clarion seems not particularly useful here. Chandra seems fine. Banishing Light seems fine. Justice Strike seems fine. I don't know that this is a veto matchup, huh? Maybe a couple are okay. Bonecrusher doesn't seem stellar. Coil does kill Drake. I've read a lot of things that kill Drake, though. try it. Let's try this. Now, I think Intervention is better than Veto because Intervention is able to draw cards. The matchup like this is frequently going to be about what my opponent has on the board as opposed to playing on the stack. So having counter spells that don't have to be counter spells when I need to play to the board is ideal. It's the reason why Thassa's Intervention is so powerful, because it's a flexible card. Does a lot of different things. This is fine. Definitely just want to hit all my land drops here to start. You know it's coming, but it still hurts when it happens. Like you're watching the train in slow motion barreling towards you, and you're just like, yep. Oh, they took Teferi and not Intervention. That kind of implies they don't have another discard spell. Here's hoping, fingers crossed. So, I think it's right to just cantrip there, because if I cantrip into a land, I end up a card and get to 1 for 0 them, kind of. I could counter it and, like, deny them the Surveil, but the Surveil is, like, pretty minimal, and the upside of, like, hitting a land I think is pretty real. I think even if they have something like Warboss in their deck, I don't want Deafening Clarion in my deck. I think I'd leave in something like Bonecrusher Giant before I leave in Clarion. Just because Bonecrusher Giant's a little bit more flexible. You can choose not to take the card. Yeah, I guess technically you could choose not to take the card. That is accurate. Hopefully they don't have a discard spell here. They just like play Thief, and then we get to untap and play Elspeth Conquers Death. Sure, that also works, huh? Bye, friend. Yeah, with Nikki B and Thief, I think I want Lava Coil for game 3. They have Drake in their deck as well. That's probably enough targets to warrant leaving in Coil. So, this is actually relevant still, because I get to exile my Teferi, which means my Conquer's Death now no longer has something to get back. Yeah, the fact that Remorse, like, has a text box. Hey, Blaza, thanks for the half a year.
Trust me, I have a plan.
Stop it. Okay. Okay.
You look flammable enough. Oh, looks like someone's getting a little sweaty.
I don't understand your suggestion, Eladox. Unfortunately, this lifelinks. Iowa got you stressed or not? No, you shouldn't. Here's a good life lesson in general. Don't stress out about things that are outside of your control. Do what you can to improve things that are within your control. But at the end of the day, just, you know, gotta go with the flow sometimes. Rampage is super reasonable, especially with Dream Trawler being a card people are playing now. Has a lot of really good flexibility. Not really, Booba. Historic is largely just like standard plus at this point. This format is very, very close to standard. Looking forward to more historic anthology sets over the course of the next year, as well as the upcoming rotation. Next rotation, historic should feel pretty unique, I think. I don't know. I think the fact that Bernie is even like competitive for first place in the state that is like largely white farmers is impressive and speaks to the power of his platform and how competitive he's going to be overall. Like the fact that Buttigieg is doing well there, that's where he should be doing well. And the fact that he's only doing as well as he's doing there is super relevant. Just gonna make them redraw this. Just want to just cash this Aether Gust in for a card before they get to discard it. 7 months still feels faster than a blue-white mirror. Thanks for the 7 months speed. I appreciate it. Welcome back. Yes, I agree. The fact that Biden is in 4th makes me so happy. I feel happy. Old status quo Joe. Let's leave his modern ideas in the dumpster fire of history books. All right, let's do this. Stop trying to tap my red lands deck.
Mind and body should know I have just the trick for this.
That's phenomenal. I'm not filtering through the beacon. I don't need to filter through the beacon. I have plenty of colors. This is likely a game-winning Conquer's Death. I am not a fan of where Buttigieg has moved his policies to compared to compared to some of the other candidates I prefer, like Bernie, but I'd rather have a young centrist than an old centrist. All right, so I think I opt first. I can trade that for Croxa, right? So I think that's a keep.
With thoughtfulness before action.
Or we could just Aether Gust him. Do I have enough mana to do both? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yes, so I'm going to go Chandra plus... and then Aether Gust this.
Chandra, the immolation sensation.
Oh, I could draw step it. Yeah, that's a good call. Draw step it is ideal. So, like, as much as I feel for Yang, kind of, like, I think Yang's I think a number of things in Yang's platform are good. I honestly think the DNC's requirements on who they've let into the baits have been too lax. And I think it's a good thing that they finally winnowed the field some. Like, those debates had way too many people in them for much too long.
Keep an open mind.
Okay, so we do this. They immediately let Bloomberg in. But Bloomberg has the poll numbers, right, chat? Like, I really don't want Bloomberg to be there anyways, but I feel like people are super biased. Bloomberg isn't taking individual donations. He doesn't have them because he's not taking them. So, dropping that requirement and going based purely on poll numbers, I don't think is unreasonable. Like, he's explicitly not taking donations from my understanding. Feel free to cite a source if that's not correct. But from my understanding, he's explicitly not taking donations. He's only self-funding. Why seal away if I was going to cast Elspeth? Because I was going to discard it anyway, so it just didn't matter. This game's mostly done at this point.
A burning desire.
Still don't like the idea of buying your way in. Welcome to reality. If you don't like the idea of buying your way in, vote for Bernie.
We begin.
The world runs on money, and money gets people to do things. So, like, he's got the vote. He's got the polling numbers. Red Cap Lord, thanks for the 3 months. Yeah, I mean, honestly, I prefer the idea of a billionaire not accepting donations more than like taking donations to get into things.
Feel the heat of my flames.
And you're dead. Conquer's Death is so good. Alright, I'm trying to win a game on the draw now against a pile of discard spells. I mean, the preference is no billionaires exist in general. Billionaires are policy failures. Lava Coil's probably good. Lava Coils are probably good. What do I want to trim here? They didn't really have that many counterspells, and I guess Bouncing Crocs is good. I'm gonna trim one of those. Aether Gust was a little bit media. Maybe I trim one of those. I'll trim Opt, that's mostly filler. They have a lot of creatures, Mikey. I already have 2 vetoes in. I think 2 vetoes is fine. Or are you saying cut veto? I don't know, a couple of vetoes seems fine. I guess veto's a little bit worse on the draw because I can't veto a turn 2 discard spell. I mean, we did veto a 5-mana Nicol Bolas, which was a big deal. Bloomberg is a useful idiot. Even if you don't like him, he's useful. And if he does what he says and dumps a pile of money into whoever wins the nomination, running against Trump, that's useful. I can say billionaires are a policy failure while also acknowledging the fact that, like, him doing that would be helpful. Useful idiots are better than idiots that are actively harmful and vote for things like not addressing climate change. That's a good draw. Okay, so I think I just lead on that. Do I? So the problem, I could just Conquer's Death the Ashiok. The problem with that is then my Conquer's Death doesn't have anything good to get back, but it's probably worth just using it as a removal spell. That's unfortunate.
All your fears are given for.
Do I just tuck something in here? I think I just tuck this in, huh? And then if they kill Tef, I get him back. And if they don't kill Tef, I can kill both their creatures next turn. Yeah, and they're just ignoring Teferi. This is smart. I just lost, like, all my little Tefs, though. This was the card I wanted to draw to bounce one of these tokens and draw a card. 6-mana Chandra could also be good here. Brutal.
Just want to peek. The weight is killing me.
Hurry!
So they have an Ashiok in their hand from the Rail plus A.
Choose wisely, because the other one's going bye-bye.
The other one's going bye-bye. Yeah, Rail's scary. I have 2 more Conquer's Death in my deck.
Well, let's see what the wind blows in.
One more draw step at it. I've got another Teferi as well. I have 2 Chandras in my deck that can give this a love tap.
My kin are delightfully friendly.
I have a Banishing Light too. We're gonna get negated. block. Yep. That's a tough set. We had a close first loss to Vampires, and then Grixis tends to be pretty good. The one thing Grixis tends to excel at is beating up these kind of blue-white style decks. Typically speaking, in the mid-ranger control style matchups, the deck that has access to discard spells, as opposed to the other one only having to lean on counter spells, the discard deck tends to be favored, just because you get to trade the 1-for-1s while also generating more double spell turns that allow you to resolve more critical threats. Yeah, the opponent's deck also had a variety of threats that were tough to interact with for us. Like, as you saw there in that last game, like, in games 1 and 2, they had a lot of creature threats, so we had Justice Strike in our deck. But then in that third game, they drew a lot of Planeswalkers, and we were stranded with answers in our hand that just didn't line up well into what they were doing. Now, you could say, maybe because we've added Banishing Light to the format in this deck, maybe we should just have a full 4 Banishing Lights in the sideboard. It's a little bit worse against aggro, but the flexibility it has against things like Grixis could be reasonable. Alright, at any rate, that's going to wrap up Jeskai Planeswalkers here. Remember, if you want to see more of this deck, it's one of the many ones you can find up on my website with deck lists and gameplay. Click into the historic deck section at the top. We are going to roll on into some standard here for the remainder of the stream. Up first, we are going to have some Jund Kroxa, trying to curve Pelt Collector into this bad Mamma Jamma. I'm going to hit a quick ad roll. I get the client restarted and everything switched over. We'll be back in just a few. Thanks for hanging out today, folks. These people are great. Buy other stuff. All right, as always, if you would like endless political chat, there's always the Political Dark Place in the subs Discord. For now, let's swing back to focusing on Magic as we roll into a new deck. If you're not in the subs Discord, you definitely should be. It's a fantastic place to talk with like-minded Oaklandians about everything from politics to magic to sports to whatever other things people talk about, films, channels for almost anything. Anything and everything. In fact, my first recommendation when you pop into the subs Discord is take a peekaboo over all the channels and mute the ones that aren't of interest to you. Raid, yep. I've been chatting a lot in Raid. The Hoaglandia Raid clan has killed the Easy Demon the last 2 days in a row. Y'all are great. Thoughts about the Shake Dice DQ from Richmond? I have no idea what you're referring to, Steiner. Thanks for the 3/4 of a year. What is Raid? Raid is a there you go. Raid's a mobile gacha game. It's has RPG style grindy elements to it. If you enjoy, like, customizing characters and grinding endless dungeons for gear and stuff, it's fun. It's good for a mobile game. I've been playing a bunch of it off stream.